Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. This is December 2025 horoscope, and we're going to break it down week by week. But let's just give you the big picture. A lot of flow and money and work and career matters. Things are jiving for you. At the same time, you're going to find that perhaps there's a lot of information happening, a lot of change, a lot of stories happening in your long-term committed love house. If you're single, you might meet someone. If you're with someone, there's just a lot going on. We'll break it down in this week ahead, month ahead overview for you, as well as the week by week. First of all, one thing I want to say is that I do promote myself, so you know what I'm doing. Sorry, guys. It's a very short promotion. I just started my join button for members only. If you want live streams with me on Saturday for members only, all about astrology, please consider joining. If you want to also connect to me on my other platforms, it's all down below. But my big promotion is my 2026 individual all signs videos. I record them for you. I'm doing them now in November. They are delivered to you in December. It's a fundraising every year, fundraising for equipment for my business, help me hire video editors and some staff, help me give a scholarship fund for people who can't afford some of my courses to be able to attend. And this is every year I do this. And thank you very much for all of you who are my really good friends who keep doing the same thing, helping me yearly on this fundraiser. 12 videos, 2 hours each, plus overview PDF guidebook for the year ahead, written by me, not by AI. And that content is yours for only $44. And you can listen for Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. You can share with friends and family as a digital stocking stuffer, email to them and say, here you go, happy Christmas, that kind of stuff. So consider getting it. It will still be for sale, of course, after December 1st, but it'll be more money. It'll be $55. And then in January, it's $66. And finally, the individual videos will be for sale in December, just to buy one sign. You can do that. It'll be $33. Okay, guys, thanks. I'll see you guys, hopefully buying away and supporting this channel to grow. Let's go ahead and start the story of the week ahead, a month ahead. Sorry, guys, month ahead. All right. Are you ready? This is the sky for Gemini. I have a progressed sun in Gemini, so I jive with you guys on this one. I find my progressed sun is useful. Don't forget, progressions are not as important as your natal positions, but they add a layer of meaning. So Gemini, the first thing you're going to notice as this month begins is this beautiful flowing trine between Lord Jupiter in the house of earnings, resources, and possessions, and flowing to Saturn in your 10th house. Now, Jupiter retrograded back around November 11th, and therefore he's going deeper to deepen your bounty. It's like he's going to pull back. He's been trying to increase your wealth, increase your earnings, increase your resources, increase the financial wellness of your life. Every 12 years, he exalts your money house here, and it's back again. And this is like a time where you can be very profitable and successful, particularly connected to job and work, but any kind of source of material prosperity is available to you. And I would say that you're going to find that the first 5 days of December, well, Jupiter is flowing beautifully to Saturn, who's now direct as of November 26th, that these two energies are going to say, move forward cautiously in stable and sensible and practical and lasting ways to increase your career, reputation, success in the world. And the North Node's amplifying the worldly success, but with wisdom. With wisdom, Jupiter is like, okay, we're going to do it, but we're going to be extremely calibrating for truth and goodness and wisdom as we do that. But it can look like just a nice, first 5 days of December where there's a feeling that finances are wonderful for some reason. Things are flowing, things are going forward in a way that's different than how it was before in November. This trine was active all of November, but it was more of a frustration. Saturn was retrograde. You might have been doing well on the financial and career front, but it might have felt like, boy, oh boy, you might have felt like you were really working hard, maybe harder than you wanted, for example. If you don't have a career, then things just to do with your material resources and how people perceive you as successful or not are part of the story. All right. Then we move into Venus, the goddess of love and money, sextiling Pluto from the 7th house. If you are single looking for a relationship, starting here, Venus, bless her soul, enters into around the 30 30th of November, enters into Sag and will be in Sagittarius, your relationship house, and stay there until, goodness gracious, December 24th. So for single Geminis looking for love, this is a nice transit and can bring a very powerful romantic love story into your life. She rules the house of true love and romance. Mars brings the passion. So even if you don't think you're interested, you might bump into somebody and find you got a thing going. And there's Pluto in the house of spiritual life, spiritual teachers, education, higher learning, campuses, legal and court matters, and matters to do with podcasting and publishing and book publishing. You could get a book publishing deal. You could get a nice little perk from a client who's likely a female that really assists you to move into new levels of publishing, podcasting success. Pluto in the 9th house. A legal contract regarding a court case that brings you great wealth. Why not? But if it's about love, the love guy or person, girl or guy is coming from another country or foreign land or speaks a different language, has a different skin color. It's the archetype of something foreign from where you are currently living or where you were born, more likely. So there's a little possibility for love. For some Geminis, you're already in a relationship, you got a spouse or you got a long-term significant other, then this is just going to increase the vibe of affection and fondness for each other. And they may have something positive happening in their life. Venus can bless them. It may be something positive happening in for their travel plans, something positive happening in their social media land, something positive happening in your partner's publications and publishing and podcasting world, if you have a partner who does that, right? So it could be about their luck, their direction, their stuff as well. And your partner kind of gets a nice glow up with Venus here through to December 24th. I can see your partner traveling, and that'd be very positive for them, whether it's short or long distance. And that would be a part of the story. Now, this is like December 1st to the 3rd, though, you get the Pluto energy, but your partner could be traveling through to December 24th. Now, Mars can separate you from your partner, and he's already here. Right? He's here most of November, and he's still here. Mars is still here all the way through to December 15th. So this could just simply mean that you and your partner are separated because one or both of you are traveling. Now, as we move into the full moon on the 4th of December, it's going to happen at 13 degrees. Take a look at this, okay? Full moon will be happening. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I moved by hours. Full moon will be happening in Gemini, which is you. Okay. Like nothing to complain about here. Full moon in your sign, fulfilling a seed you planted last May, June, when there was a new moon. And you want to fulfill something that reflects also the light of Venus. Well, Venus, right? And Mars, but more Venus sun. Venus is invisible in your 7th house. She's under the sun's beams. That can also mean there are things going on in your life of your partner that are invisible to you, hidden from you. But if it's not that, then this is like also maybe you are wanting to fulfill an intention that you planted back in the spring, May, June, regarding relationship. It could be to further your existing relationship, to deepen it. If you're single, to have a new relationship, like to start dating someone or getting down with relationship. And that is a fulfilling moon. And it's, going to take you to that idea that a blossoming relationship is possible, not only at 2 to 3 weeks after the lunation, but up to 6 months after, promising maybe a new love story for you. And with Mars there, it could be very, very passionate. So, and the sun, of course, is the ruler of your 3rd house. So there may be a relationship that you can find because you're traveling or in the local neighborhood, or in connection to your social media landscape or digital dating apps. So I'm just saying, especially those of you who are looking for love, you could bring yourself somebody in off of this full moon because Venus is participating with it. And the full moon can also fulfill something that you want to create or see happen regarding your body, your health, the way you tend to your body and all of that. Venus rules the house of addictions. It can really be supportive of releasing addictive or escapist substances that are not good for you. Now, when we move forward to December 5th to the 7th, we'll see that we have a beautiful flow between Mercury and Jupiter, and that continues to be then Mercury and Saturn on the 7th to the 9th, bundling up December 5th to the 9th to be a very nice vibe. And let's talk about what Mercury wants to accomplish here. He will say to Lord Saturn from the 6th house of health and work and pets and rental properties. He'll say to Saturn, okay, well, first Jupiter, let's start with Jupiter. He'll look back over his shoulder and say to Jupiter, hey, let's have a financial opportunity connected to work. Let's possess something that we really want connected to property, land, and real estate. Let's connect to the idea that increase of wealth through the work axis happens because of information coming through or a contract or agreement or news that you would receive, okay, positively December 5th to the 7th. This would also be good for good health news connected to outcomes from changing your diet and the lab work looking really good, changing your food style and getting results that look good on lab work. This also because then on the next movement, the 7th to the 9th, Mercury flows to the North Node. It's really clear that you're having some worldly success as well as to Saturn, Neptune. The energy wants to lift you up into the heights of the sky to be in a successful outcome regarding money, career, work, prosperity, and reputation. You're getting a nice glow up, but you're doing the work needed. And because Mercury rules contractual agreements, right, there may be an opportunity to sign some kind of contract that's going to level you up to another level of work and professional accomplishment of some sort. Jupiter will protect you to make sure the contract is the right contract for you. And you'll notice even on December 6th, with the moon moving into Jupiter, there is a chance for some of you that there may be news that's going to come to your way or regarding an opportunity to move your home, but more specifically and likely it's because you're going to rent a property. Okay, that would be more likely, but with Saturn ruling your house of mortgages, I will say that an off chance you could purchase a home as well. So those are feelings that I get around this time, and it's good. It feels good to me. So you can even go December 4th, 5th to the 10th. What a nice time of the month. Now, we get into some hot water when Mars is going to square Saturn, and it's going to feel like frustration. I like the idea of a pebble in your shoe or grit in your eyeballs. You know, you're like, I don't like the way this feels. It's gritty. And that's only a short movement. It doesn't last. It's part of a larger synodic cycle, which I will cover on my channel for world events and stuff. But for your own life, there's just something that frustrates you here where you're trying to do something connected to your career, connected to your reputation, and there's oppositional forces from the 7th house. Now, it begins to be felt as soon as you get to about the, see it really activating here on the 8th and 9th. Despite all the good stuff, right? And this could be some fracture in a relationship. If you have a long-term relationship, an argument that leads to a visible blowout in the world, people see, oh, you guys are separating. You guys are going to quit the relationship. This can be some difficulty in your partner's life regarding their career ambitions and things not going as well as they like, and they're frustrated. This can be frustrated energy regarding legal contracts and agreements and your career success. Or honestly, someone's really just trolling you. If you're like me in the online world, Mars is the troll and it's squaring your worldly success, mastery, authority in your career space. Hopefully it's not too bad. It doesn't last a long time, but it can feel like a gritty window of time. And then Mercury, and then while this intensity is going on, and I would say one more thing about it, Mars is the ruler of the work house, right? So it impacts your work in a perhaps negative way. And Mars is the ruler of Aries, which is your career profitability. So there's something that can feel like, work, career, money from my career, frustration, and coming from another person, coming from some other in your life. It could be your spouse doesn't like you're working so hard, and wants you to take time off. It could be that some contractual agreement, customer client situation is kind of causing turbulence for you at that time. Mercury will be opposite Uranus December 10th. Mercury will be in a really exciting, exhilarating, shocking, surprising, unexpected, energetic news story. Now, this can be unexpected news regarding long distance people, foreign lands and travel, distant shores, some surprising information or news connected to work, colleagues, coworkers. This is a health house, right? but there is flow from Lord Jupiter. So it's probably not too bad, but there could be something going on with, oh, I can't believe my blood work. Maybe it's a good surprise. Maybe you find out, oh my God, like my blood work's great. I'm eating healthy. Who knows? Now, the whole thing with Mercury here is just news, some kind of news, and it's nothing new. You had this like news flash happen already back around November 19th. Okay, so go back to November 19th. If you have a health challenge here, it's going to be all the old urogenital stuff, Scorpio, right? So that's what I have for you. And it doesn't have to be negative. It's just surprising, right? It's not like, it's just, oh, I didn't know that. Mercury, as he shocks and awes up with Uranus, like he did November 18th, 19th. So you've been through it once before. As he does this kind of shock and awe story, he also is, of course, maybe translating that to home, property, land, and real estate, because he is witnessing in a sextile, the fourth house. Mars is squaring the fourth house. So an example would be an unexpected change in a contractual agreement regarding real estate, for example, right? So it could be many different things, but that's just an idea of what it could be. Again, when the health stuff, Mercury rules your body, your ascendant for you rising signs. So again, like health alert, health, health test, blood test, and some surprise. And all said and done, that's about what I've got. You could have a surprise regarding a pet and a pet's health and a hospitalization issue, or I mean, pet, doggy hospital around a pet as well. Now, as we move forward into the sky, we're going to talk about Mars squaring Neptune. Go back to the 8th and 9th, he squares Saturn, reality check. Then he hits Neptune, defog the confusion, illusion, and rose-colored glasses, and get down with reality even more. Where is this confusion that you're feeling December 13th to the 15th, 13th to the 15th, about your work, about your reputation, about your professional accomplishments and visible success? If you're retired, what are you doing that everyone notices you doing? That's the best I can offer you, right? Everyone sees you at the soup kitchen or the golf course. And because this energy is Mars, it wants to clear the confusion. Neptune turned direct back earlier on December 10th, where he's more likely to create a mystical fog bank that, white, what do you call that stuff? The Halloween fog. You can't really see clearly, something you need to see, and Mars will help you see it. And it could also be clearing up any kind of illusion you have about romantic love, a significant other in love, and just romance in general, really clearing something up that was confusing you in some way. Also clarifying something to do with legal contracts and agreements connected to work. So it's a clarifying, clearing of confusion, the 13th to the 15th of the month. Your significant other might also have this clarifying going in their life around the themes I've just identified. Okay, the whole second half of the month is a bit difficult. Let's call a spade, guys. It's a lot of squares. In fact, it's all squares, December 14th to the end of the month. So we see at the beginning of that, December 14th to the 21st, the sun will square Saturn. The sun is moving through Sagittarius. Saturn is in your 10th house. Again, conflict with an audience, marketplace, customer, client, challenge, authority figure, battle of wills. Who's stronger? Who's the boss of who? Hopefully not with Mars, a lawsuit launched at you, and battle and will struggles and power struggles here. However, this could also be happening to your partner, and they're having some kind of tussle and struggle in their life. And you're watching them go through it, and it would likely pertain most likely to their career or their work-related matters and their difficult struggles. And you could also have a struggle connected to the shared resources, the shared bank accounts, and the shared situations. If you're especially going through a separation, Mars here, all of November through to December the 15th can indicate marital tension, and that's the struggle, and that's the frustration, and that's what you're all dealing with, really. Saturn rules the house of judges, so again, legal matters, marital separation, struggle, authority, conflict, power. And then, of course, the sun squares Neptune. Again, the same thing. Where are you deluding yourself with some sort of, spin on your life that isn't really realistic. And if you have a dream come true, Saturn, Neptune, that you're trying to create in your career space, and you want to be authoritative, masterful, and successful and worldly successful, then with this square of the sun, somebody is giving you a reality check. Could be your significant other, could be a client. They're giving you some kind of something to chew on here, right? But on the other hand, a client could be giving you an opportunity, but it's going to be, or customer, but it's going to be demanding immediate action and decisions. Again, you're feeling all of this tension December 20 to 21, but with the sun, it starts on December 16th and it finishes up around the 21st. So this is a tense window of time. Finally, on December the 20th, Venus also gets in the mix. If you're engaged in a love story and it just is, fresh and new, she rules your romance house. This is where you toss those rose-colored glasses into the garbage bin and you become extremely realistic about the relationship. Okay? She's going to square Neptune and Saturn, for goodness sakes, right? December 20th to the 23rd. It's a realism around love. It's a realism around romance. It's realisticness. And, there's nothing wrong with that sober-minded realism, right? You might find that refreshing. So keep in mind, there's a turning point energy with Venus's square, where squaring Neptune around the 20th, 21st, a significant spousal type relationship or even a new romance becomes very clearly identified from the perspective of a reality check. On December 19th, a Sagittarius lunation in the house of romantic love. It's brand new. It's fresh. Over the 2 to 3 weeks that follow and the 6 months, it wants to reset your button in the house of clients, customers, audience, public, marketplace, business partnerships, and marriage partners or committed partners, a reset button. If you're single, this reset button can bring somebody to you over the 6 months that follow. If you're in a relationship and Mars has been going through your marriage house, and then your shared resources, it could be resetting the end of a relationship. And I'm not sure that you're the one choosing it because Mars might be your partner going, I'm done, I'm out of here. After nice knowing you. Sorry, guys, it could happen for some Geminis, not everybody, of course. So the reset button can work either way, beginnings and endings, new beginnings and new endings in your marriage zone of the sky. And the new moon is going to happen. I moved the moon, but it's going to happen at 28 degrees of Sag. Obviously, if you're a rising sign, Gemini, and you're 28 degrees, it really impacts your marriage point very precisely, right? It has a lot of intensity to it. And the new moon will also be in a T-square to Saturn and Neptune. Some of you might make major changes here in your relationships, and the world will notice it. You'll have to announce we're separating, we're divorcing, or announcing that I'm committing. This is a relationship. I mean, something like that. And then we move on to the end of the story. It's Mercury's ball game. Mercury will square Saturn on December the 30th, close to your New Year's Eve celebration. I can't get there without the essential times fucking it up. So just pretend that Mercury is over here around 25 degrees of Sag and he squares Saturn. And this is going to indicate that you're going to come into more of the more, some challenging contractual agreements, conversations with a spouse, difficulties with an authority figure in the work, difficult conversations connected to career and clients and customers, contracts and agreements that must be signed ASAP, but there's holdups or intensity around it. Now, the other thing to notice is that we begin to see the Capricorn stellium forming, and Venus will have moved here, by the way, December 24th, and Mars got here way back in the day. This is important, December 15th. And all of a sudden, there's a lot of focus on your taxes, a lot of focus on your chunks of money, investments, inheritances. With the South Node in the 4th house, it's possible that perhaps as we move to January, you'll get an inheritance, but we won't cover that yet. What I want you to know is that we move into January. You want to subscribe to my channel because this is important. A very decades rare reset button by Mars is going to happen in your chunks of money house, where you have those tax issues or the money connected to a spousal separation or an inheritance. And that's going to activate a 2-year story. And also Venus participates by co-joining the sun there and activates a 10-month story. So there's a lot of change in the money house of the eighth. Now, there are other things there, occult mysteries, studying or learning or being connected to astrology and the mysteries and all of that. But it is the house of death. And the sun is a solar figure, right? Masculine figure. It's possible, I'm just going to say that you could be coming into the loss of some person in your life connected to that. We're going to go during the month. No, with Mars over 2 years, January of 26 to 28, with Venus by the end of the year. So we're going to cover that in January. You want to know more about that and how to handle those energies, please do subscribe to my channels and hit the notification bell so you know when I drop that video. I'll probably be dropping it close to January 1st because it's a big deal. All right, thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Don't forget to buy my fundraising product for only $44. Who gets 12 videos times 2 hours for $44, plus an overview PDF guidebook. Last year I tried to do it for each sign. It was too much work. It's going to be the overview with a little page-long story that I'll make for your sign, because I almost killed myself doing too much work last year trying to do PDFs that I wrote by myself. That was a lot of work. Ciao, everybody. I'm telling Gemini, it's a sign of the communicator, that I can't write that much this year. All right, bye, everyone. Take care.